Hello, back with another VOD review from Overwatch University. This one is a Diamond player. They wrote that they are having trouble confirming kills when diving on supports and backline. They're looking for just general advice on what they're doing wrong and what they could do better. Some quick background. I never played Wrecking Ball at all in Overwatch 1 because of all the CC. It was really unappealing, but I grinded the crap out of Wrecking Ball in Season 2, Season 3, really comfortably sitting in like high masters on ball at the moment. Can also tickle the bottom of GM at the moment on combined tanks, including Wrecking Ball. Um, Done quite a few Wrecking Ball VOD reviews. Love Wrecking Ball. I think this is a great map for Wrecking Ball in general. Lots of the reason why Blizzard World is such a good map is like situations like this sort of area. Oh shit, this sort of area here. Like the nature of the close proximity of the point. It's just got so many like fantastic chokes and so many like easily accessible high grounds for engages and stuff like that. Compare that to maps like King's Row, like Route 66, where you need like so much more staging and prep time. Whereas on Blizzard World, like you can like engage so quickly in and out all the time, and there's heaps and heaps of megas on this map as well, which is fantastic. I mean, this point alone, you've got like Mega there, Mega in here, and then minis everywhere. So like it just empowers you to play so independently. This is just a great map for ball. Your team comp is not bad for ball. You've got a Brig that can potentially repair pack you, and Anna can easily heal you from range, a Genji that in theory can follow up on your dives, and sort of a Sojourn as like your main damage, main DPS, which is good, put out consistent pressure, that sort of thing. Potentially railgun your engages. Don't know what they're playing yet. Cool. Their comp is not bad for you, so long as you avoid this guy's silly little mines or traps rather. Hard to confirm a kill on a Mora sometimes due to fade. Depends how close she fades, but overall they don't really have any CC that you super duper need to worry about other than sleep dart. Like your awareness is hopefully good enough not to roll over traps all the time. And like Reinhardt is pretty bad into ball in my opinion. Like if I'm playing ball and I see Reinhardt, I'm like shit yeah. Like this game just got so much easier because the Reinhardt, unless he gets a pin, can't really like affect you, right? Um, that was super super low value everything that you did then. So we'll go back quickly. Um, I I don't know if you're trying to do a double boop. If you are, then you're not quite getting enough like lead on your grapple. We'll look at where you grapple quickly. If you want the double boop from there, you need to grapple a little bit more like around there so that you've got like a double wind up because ultimately like when you go over there, you don't have enough grapple left to do the reset on your double boop and actually try and fling them off. To be honest though, I wouldn't like even be like screwing around with that. Like this is a bad engage, and I talked about this in another VOD review recently because your team can't follow up on anything. So by doing this, you're basically saying to yourself, I'm good enough at Wrecking Ball that I can go in 1v5 and extract greater value against 5 players than what 5 players can extract against me. And realistically, all you achieved here was getting like, shit, I didn't mean to do that. Um, like 150 damage worth of boops by the looks of it. And like look at all the ult charge that you end up feeding. Um, and you die for it as well, right? So if you do want to go for an opening engage here, what I'd recommend is actually hiding on one of these two sides potentially, and instead of going for that boop play, see if you can get like a ledge pile drive, like use your third person. So like you're sitting here, you're looking sort of angling your camera up here in third person, and then you can like jump onto this little ledge here and then like power drive as they walk around and then turn around and grapple this to get out. You could also potentially chill out like over this side and then come in for a safer boop. So you could roll up the stairs, assuming that it doesn't actually matter which way they roll out, grapple here and go for like a boop through the whole team just to build ult charge on 3 or 4 targets if that's what you want to do. But it felt like you really committed to that 1v5 and that's why you died, right? It's like an arrogant play to think that you can stay in there. Like you should be using your grapple to potentially escape. Other options like for the start is you can also just like hide here, right? And then if they come up this staircase, then you sort of like juke. You do like a ledge slam here because there's just enough height. If you like jump off here and ledge slam back, and then again you just like grapple here afterwards and then scoot out, right? But like the real strength of Wrecking Ball comes from like this choke onwards. So like engaging back here when your team is in there is like a bad play. So hopefully we don't keep seeing that. Skip ahead a little bit. Cool, going high ground, sweet, good play. I think mouse winding him is good. Tracking was shit, but you had the right idea. We won't analyze your aim too much yet because that's the first time we've seen it. And it's a high pressure scenario where you presumably know that you're in a 1v3 and that it's going to be really hard to win, right? Just want to make sure that you don't die for this. Oh, good kill, sweet. That was such a good anti from the Ana, and you did a good job stalling with the grapple there. I think that you've just C9 though. Oh, that was close. Damn, yeah, we C9'd. I mean, you're trying to do the right thing and confirm kills, but I think in that situation it's just like an awareness thing. I think once you killed the Ana, that was actually like arguably a winnable fight. I guess we should just look at why he took so much damage here, right? Yeah. Sort of just like took shit from the Junkrat and from the Hanzo. It's not too bad. You're sort of delaying it there, which is okay. Get the ledge jump, good slam. Like that wasn't like overall bad plays. I think it's just like an awareness thing of like where your team is and that sort of thing. Like you had to just anchor the point here because even if you confirm the Hanzo kill, like the Reinhardt is still going to cap the point. So it's like you have to make a judgment call. Do I want to actually hold the point and anchor and try and get heals from my supports and then look at winning the fight? Or do I just want to get some ult charge and maybe confirm a kill and give up the point? And I would say that like realistically the best play is to try and hold on to the point, yeah. Oops. Wait, how did you not confirm that kill on Hanzo? We have plenty of ammo, we've got 80 shots. You probably thought that he was using Storm Arrow, so you bailed, but it was in fact. The animation does look kind of similar, I guess, when he starts it. And this one, cool. Just roll through, don't commit. Yeah. It's just like overcommitment. So again, like you should know that this is like a tough fight to win, that you just lost both of your supports only a few seconds ago. So again, it's sort of like an overconfidence thing. Like you're essentially, I mean, not quite 1v3 because the Genji is there, true. But like I would have just been looking to like reset given your health pool. You know, you've got no heals, no real support other than the Genji. Like committing on the Moira's not going to die easily to you. You know, if she's got an orb up, then she can just bounce. I mean, she fucked up her orb in fairness, but like she could just bounce it off here, and then like it'll bounce back here and that sort of thing, right? So she's basically going to be like unkillable. Combine that with her grasp and the fact that there's a Junkrat and a Ryan here. So I think confirming the kill on the Hanzo, given the situation that you gave up the point, is fine. But then honestly, I think you just like grapple here and then just do like a, 50 damage onto all three targets, which are lined up in a nice little row for you. Get yourself a bit of ult charge, screw it up here, reset with your team, and then start looking for value from there. Cool. I like coming back to the supports to give them ult charge instead of finding megas. That's good. So I would have defaulted to going high ground then straight away. Bummer. Slightly. You had the right idea then. You just like didn't quite get the inputs right. Probably needed to grapple a little bit and do like a bit of a wider swing, like going sort of like around on your swing to get the height to get up there and execute that power driver properly. But you definitely had the right idea, so like points for that. Like you cannot just let a Hanzo or a Widow or an Ashe or a Sojourn or whatever have that like turret position for free. It's way too powerful. Guessing you die for this one. Yep. Yep. So one thing definitely is like, so we're running it down main. So let's rewind a bit. So think about like if you had of when you got healed, you had have gone high ground. So you're already in a position where you can see the Hanzo, but the enemy team can't see you. Um, you could like swing around here, grapple here, and then go up on the Hanzo from there. You could also, if you see the Hanzo up there, you could actually like jump off there, like jump off this little ledge, grapple around there. Actually, I don't think that'll get you there. Um, but yeah, I mean, going this way, you could contest the Hanzo. Probably the safest grapple would be to go like wide this way, grapple the pylon, and then swing up onto him and power drive from there. Think about it like if you do that, then you're only taking fire from the Hanzo, right? But the way that you do it, you run down main, so the entire enemy team is looking at you. It means that when you do go for the Hanzo, it's a lot more telegraphed. So like even if you execute that power drive on the Hanzo on the high ground, there's a good chance that the Ana is aware of what you're doing and can instantly heal the Hanzo. And if Anna does instantly heal that Hanzo for, 75 health, your odds of killing him just like drop super, super drastically. Whereas if you come from this angle here, like the Anna doesn't have line of sight of you, it comes down to whether or not the Hanzo has pinged your way in, how aware the Anna is, but like the likelihood of the Anna supporting the Hanzo instantly is a lot less, obviously, right? Because she can't see you. And then here you've got like no health really, you're half health, but then you go for like this weird commitment there as well, and I assume that you just don't have power drive off cooldown either. So like you don't even really get value off of this engage. So grapple, no power drive, so maybe that's not tracking your cooldowns properly. But even then, it's again like running it down main. So advice I give almost every ball player is like don't run it down main. I mean, there's sometimes a time and a place for running it down main, but like 80 to 90% of the time, you want to be engaging from like off angles. That's Ball's true strength when they don't see him coming. If you just come down the main pathway all the time, odds are between 3 to 5 enemy players are going to spot your engagement and start preparing to like, CC you, shoot you, whatever the case, chop down your health before you even get to go in. So like in this situation where the card is, if you're not contesting the Hanzo, then you're actually like doing your engages from over here and potentially even just like rolling over here and then power driving from there for a free high ground power drive. That way you've already got your grapple, or you could potentially like grapple up here. You could try and like swing from here, grapple shit. So if you're on the staircase, you can potentially grapple there, get enough height to swing and boop the Hanzo off high ground, and then power drive on top of his head when you land. Hopefully you don't land on the trap right. But ultimately, like the true like strength of ball is off angles and coming from ways that they don't expect you. Because if the enemy team can see you coming at them, they'll position better, they'll prepare better, they'll hold their CC for you instead of maybe using it for something else, and they'll obviously chunk down your health on the way in. So we're sort of seeing this like hard commit twice now at the very start when you died before like the game really started, like as the gates open, and then again there where you're like hard committing and there's no follow up from your team. You don't have the health pool, you don't have your cooldowns up, and you just sort of like throw your life away, right? You're also like very slow to get your ult. The only person that's really slower by a significant margin is Genji, right? I think Kiriko already ulted at some point. Maybe I'm wrong. I would assume so because we're a long way of the game in. But ultimately, like Wrecking Ball actually gets his ult charge pretty quickly. So like that speaks to like how low value your engages have been so far, right? Like I would expect that you would have had a mines, used a mines, and probably been like 30 to 40% on your next mines when you're like nearly 3 minutes into the game. Let's just watch this again because I was too busy chatting about minefields. I'd like to see you properly scout the engages more. I feel like you don't have a good sense of what's happening when you use that grapple, and because you don't have a good sense of what's happening with that grapple, like you haven't properly scouted, you're essentially like not getting the right angle and the right height. So while you do power drive this Junkrat, it's a low value power drive. Like look, he's basically still full health. You did like minimum damage on that power drive. Um, if you had have just like peeked here just a little bit and actually seen the locations of the enemy. So like you roll out this way like you did, that's fine. You like peek here and you're like, okay, there's a Rhine right there and there's a Junkrat right there. Then you like plan your grapple and your engage accordingly to, you know, to try and get maximum value out of it. You don't necessarily have much of a choice of running it down main here unless you come out of the spawn this way and take this high ground, which isn't a bad idea. And it obviously gets you the free pile drive straight away because you don't have to burn a grapple to get the height. It gives you like a bird's eye view. Honestly, I probably would have like gone left or out, and then I would have, for the sake of speed, I would have come out. I would have like grappled here, used my grapple speed to get up here quickly. When you're up here, you do a quick like scout, see what's going on, and then you plan your engage by there. And by the time you're ready to engage, you'll have your grapple off cooldown again, right? Because it's only a few seconds. If you haven't ever watched it, then I would go and watch like a guide by Yeetle on YouTube where he talks about like the fundamentals of ball, which is scout, set up, and strike. So like here you would be scouting. Up here, and then you'd be looking at where they are, you'd be planning your setup. So if you wanted to go on that Junkrat, your setup would literally just have been like moving over to here and then pile driving on his head, assuming he was standing there, right? And then that's your strike as well. Get the kill anyway. Ooh, lucky we don't get pinned. It's great that you confirmed the kill and your tracking was really good then, so it makes me less worried about the tracking on the Hanzo before. Let's see how you do this. I feel like you're about to minefield. No, okay. Wait, you are? Okay. Cool. Nice. Just, yeah, overcommitted that one, right? You had the health pool. Yeah, I think where you went wrong is honestly that just that you grappled. I'm not sure why you felt the need to grapple then. Because you're already running up to the high ground, yeah? Like you're already on the high ground. So like you could have just rolled over and like jumped and minefielded, and that would have left you with a grapple to get out. But additionally, like that was a really good minefield, and you should probably expect that you're going to confirm the kill on the Ana just with the mines. It's, you know, there's a small chance that the Ryan manages to break enough mines with his shield to save the Ana, but I think like mouse oneing here was a bit of a misplay. You really like committed to it, so you kill the Ana, cool, but you die for it. Honestly, I probably would have just like gone around here and maybe like stood up here just for a little bit of extra height for a bit more mine spread, jump off mines from there. I think that you killing the Ana is probably enough for your team to hold this though. Oh, maybe not. Not if he gets a good shot up. Come on. See how you handle the contest. So you have to anchor here. That's the main thing. But yeah, this is just a clean up for you. Sweet, cool. Well played on the recontest. Ana looks, oh shit. I was going to say Ana looks potentially free because you know that Ana died way before the rest of her team, so you had some like free time, but unfortunately like misinput there, you kind of screwed up the grapple, right? Cool. That's okay. You're not going to be able to confirm that kill because both supports next to each other, so obviously they will just pocket each other and the whole team's respawning. But you got some ult charge, you put some pressure on, that's alright. Kiriko like clearly overcommitted by coming in to help you, like that was just not necessary. If Genji was there and ready to go, then maybe you guys could have confirmed the kill, but overall it was like an okay engage from you. And like games aren't going to be super well coordinated in Diamond. Shit. Get out. Yep, cool. I mean, you're obviously enough of an annoyance that they've gone Roadhog, so that's good. I don't really consider Roadhog to be a great counter to ball. Ooh, I'm glad you did that. I was worried that you were going to run it down main onto the Hog then. So hard to kill her when she's got an orb up, but this is still like good damage anyway. Yeah, I mean, I would expect that the Moira will fade right out of that area. I'm not sure why you're chasing her. As soon as you realize at the start that she's not there, just give it up. Hopefully you saw the Moira then. I guess your team can handle one Moira by themselves anyway. Although she is capping the point. Oof. Yana's death there won't haunt you too much. Doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. Cool. So now we're setting up. So this is wasted time. So what I would be doing would be actually like moving up here and probably aiming to get on this position here. On this point in particular, whenever there's a full reset where the enemy team respawn, I love to set up like exactly here, right? Because they don't have line of sight of you, but using your third person view, you can see what they're doing, plan your engage, and then you can sort of like sneakily roll around here. You'll see that the entire enemy team is walking up here. I mean, you've got minefield, that's just like a golden opportunity, right? You'll just like come over here, mines pile drive on top of like three people's heads, and that's just like that's probably like a GG go next for them, like in terms of team fights. But this is like a weird area to stage from because you're giving them too much line of sight. So like they walk up here and you're like, oh, they're up here, cool. But like now they can all shoot you, right? Whereas if you like start from here, then you're essentially getting the surprise on them. Yeah. Shit. Wrong buttons. I still would have minded that. I should live here. Yeah. Yeah, I think minding that would have been okay. I think you just need to again like scout and plan these engages a little bit more. Like your grapple and your power drive just weren't quite right. Um, Maybe going for a bit more height then would have been good. Like potentially grappling here and then going for the mines and then the slam would have been good. Cool. BCE straight away. You just got to mines cart. I would have just mines cart because the point, if you die, then the point is almost definitely gone. But if you just mines the cart, then at least it buys your team time. You might end up throwing your ult away. True, like if your team can't end up contesting it and winning it, but at least like it buys your team a little bit more time. Like you do have three players alive even after you die, even though they're low health. Um, Not being able to cap the point might give the Ana just enough time to heal some of these players up, that sort of thing. Um, even if it backfires and you lose your ult, it's not the worst thing because the next team fight that actually matters won't happen until the cart is about here, right? Because like no teams in lobbies above plat fight for the cart out here. Like this is such a like crap position for the defenders to try and contest, right? So you'd essentially have like 40 seconds to start working towards your next ult, which is like a team fight engage where you can probably get like 40% of your ult charge hopefully. Otherwise, for like that whole engage, it wasn't like terrible, I guess. I mean, you just lost so much health on this engagement here, where you honestly should have just like mined and slammed them. It sucks that you don't get healed straight away here. Like, I think that Anna probably could have just like naded you to be honest, but she does get a good nade on the hog. It's enough to really put pressure on the hog. But yeah, bummer. I definitely think that the secret to winning that fight would have been minesing on your engage near the turret. I guess going back to like your original point of like not being able to confirm kills on supports, it's mostly just like the timings of your engagements, the angles that you're coming in from, running it down main, not properly scouting, so you don't like have a good sense of like the kind of grapple that you need to do in order to get like maximum value on the power drive and that sort of thing, right? Um, so I think you just need to spend a little bit more time, like slow it down a little bit and think a little bit more about like who do I actually want to engage on and like how am I gonna like execute, like a quality engagement on them. I sort of feel like you just go in when your cooldowns are up and like here's a great example, like who are you engaging on there? Right? Like you're running it down main, which again is like, I won't keep repeating myself, but like not how you want to play. But like even then, your grapple, if your goal is to hit the supports, this grapple will not get you there. Like your grapple would end about here, so you would end up slamming here. And like that actually will hit all three of them, but it won't do good damage to all three of them. It'll do like on the lower end, pile drive can do between 30 to 70 damage. You're probably going to do like 30 or 40 damage at this range, right? And you're also going to be doing it, I'll repeat it one more time, by running down main against a team that has now a significant CC barrier for you, both in the hook and the sleep. What I would be doing instead is I would be looking at rolling around this way and setting up my engage from behind where they're not looking. Um, by the time you do it, the cart will be about there, which is perfect because you'll be able to grapple here, um, do like a, or rather you'd probably grapple here. You'll swing in, doing like along the ground. You'll hit the 50 damage on probably multiple targets. You'll get a little bit of height going up, and then you'll pile drive. So that's 50 plus your pile drive damage. Plus you could potentially mines it if you wanted to, or you could just like 50 damage pile drive, and if anyone's low, then potentially mouse one them while using your E to keep you alive, right? But it's just like another super low value engagement, just running it down main, getting slept, getting anti, losing like half your health. So now like you've got a reset period. It wasn't a terrible mines, but it wasn't great either. Again, like you don't really seem to have like a good grasp of where the squishes are, right? So it's another issue of like not scouting and not setting up properly, because obviously you don't have wireframes while live in the game. So you're just like grappling there and just assuming that there's going to be a lot of squishy targets on the cart. You're already in this room, just like, and you already got a pick as well. So like, there's no like huge urgency for you to like clean up this fight right now. Like, they're down a player. Again, like come around here, get like a good scout, look where they are, and then grapple the archway, whatever you got to do, and then plan your engage from there. We buy a bit of space with the minefield. We don't confirm a kill, but the space isn't overly valuable because they're already down a player, right? So, like, when you're down a player, like if you're fighting 4v5, your chances of winning a team fight generally go from like 50% to like 40% or lower, and then once you lose the next person it's like 32% or something. There's like statistics that I read a while ago, but I can't remember them exactly. um, but like odds are they probably weren't going to win that fight anyway. So potentially just going for like the back engage and not even minding and just trying to get like a good scoop slam combo with your grapple and your pile drive would have been a lot more value. So again, we're running it down main against a team with two forms of quality CC against us, and we're doing that when our team isn't in a position to help. So your tracer is still all the way over here. So even if you do get a good slam there, it's like you'll get a bit of ult charge, true, um, but the risk reward just isn't there. Like this team could like burn you down so much. Even if they don't kill you, they're gonna get so much more ult charge off of you than you're gonna get off of them. Yeah, I just don't think this is a good engage. You can engage down main if you know that your tracer is in position, but obviously the tracer wasn't in position, so yeah. You get hooked back, you get antied, and Kiriko saves you with Zuzu. I think decent chance you die there. But now Kiriko doesn't have a Zuzu, right? Good kill. 3 health. They have to invest a lot of resources in you there, yeah? So Kiriko potentially could have saved herself with Zuzu if she didn't have to save you from a poor engagement. Anna potentially might have been able to heal the Kiriko um, if they weren't having to hard pocket you because you had literally 3 health. So it's like how you take up your team's resources. Slam? Yeah, good. How you take up your team's resources really matters. But that right there was actually a good engage because it was a really like narrow engage, so like you get a really good slam on them, and they don't really have a lot of reaction time to deal with you, so that one was fine. And also, obviously, the overclock helped a lot to secure some kills, right? This is arrogant. Why would you go back in there? He's nanoed and he has his ult up. Just chill, bro. Like you won this fight. You gain nothing from going in right now. Um, but like you risk so much, right? Because obviously you just instantly explode. Um, your team just wants to let that sleep wear off and then look at staggering in once the nano and the ult is off. So right now, so this is the main pathway. This is the way that the cart is going to go. I would have loved to see you come out this direction, scout, and then set up because your team isn't in a rush to take a fight, especially now that your Kiriko's dead. So like it's a situation of like staging and trying to get value off your next engagement. I have a feeling that if you run it down main, once again, this is just not going to go well for you. It's super obvious engage. We get hooked. Um, we don't manage to get our power drive off. We had 1,000 health then, and it's over health, so it's only 50% ult charge, but we've still just fed like, you know, 350 health worth of ult charge when you factor in the 50% ult charge reduction that over health, you know, penalizes. Um, we're just like playing with fire right now, and you are so low now from this poor engage that you're not going to be able to contribute to this game for quite a while. Yeah, this is all just like super duper downtime for you right now, and you're still like not getting enough health up, and you'll die here. Oh, you get nanoed. Cool. Yeah, I mean the nano was to save you, um, which it did. So that's a good example of a minefield that was similar to the minefield at second, where like you're in a lot of trouble, like your health pool is low, you know, you could get hooked and killed at any moment, but like this minefield just buys time for your team to try and make something happen. So I do like this minefield. Everything from like when you grappled here and did that engage and got hooked has just been like a bad sequence of events for you, where like you're not able to get much value and your team is having to invest a bunch of resources into trying to save you and keep you up. Again, like going around the back way, probably much better chance of avoiding getting hooked. Um, Much better chance of a successful engage when the entire enemy team isn't looking at you. But I do like the minefield. Cool, I like this decision. Cool. Just kind of messed up the grapple. I assumed that you were trying to go for like a scoop and a slam, but you just didn't quite get it. Health backs up. Cool. Alright, I think we're in a reset now, so I think both teams are resetting. You don't want to push too hard here. What I would be doing here is I would actually be getting up on this high ground tier and third person peeking like here, and then just like planning an engage, because the next fight is going to happen about here, in this area here, because your team is going to try and play around the car and around this cover at the back. The enemy team is obviously going to push up. If you're already on the high ground, then like when they do start walking around, that's again like a free power drive for you, slam them, and then you can grapple to get out if you need to, or you can grapple to confirm a kill, whatever the case may be. But just like poking your head out on the low ground is like not great value. Kiriko doesn't need to Suzu you then, but it's important to note that she did, again because you're taking too much unnecessary damage. The Kiriko invests a critical cooldown into saving you. It was a bad play by the Kiriko, but it's still like your responsibility to not take like pointless poke damage like that. Down main again, and now they've even got a Brig to beep you around. You're obviously annoying to them, right? They're obviously annoyed by your presence, but like I think honestly that they're overcommitting to countering you, because I don't see much in value in like your engages overall. I think like when you're playing against a ball that isn't getting good value, the best thing is actually usually just to ignore the ball and just kill the rest of the team. Like don't worry about hard countering the ball, you know? And sometimes that works against like good balls as well. Like, you know, you just like run through the enemy team and exploit the fact that they don't have like a consistent, reliable front line. You just like run through them and get on the squishies, and it's just a case of like, can the ball get enough kills and enough value before the rest of his team dies, you know? Meg is there for you. Sweet. You need to like get out of here, son. Your death there probably seals your team's fate. Like you cannot be so confident as to think I have 300 health, I'm gonna like grapple, slam, engage, and somehow turn this fight around. Like you just need to live there. You need to get this mega. You need to like grapple the wall for speed. You need to get around here. Then you can grab. Wait, isn't there a mini here? Yeah, grab the mini there. So and then by the time you grab the mini, your shields will be regenerating as well. So you'll be back to like, you know, 2/3 health. And then you're just looking at like, okay, like pretty much a last minute stall, like because you've lost a couple of players, you basically can't win the team fight until your Anna's back out, but you can stage over here. It will mean that you're running it down main, but like you need to be there to contest the cart here. You not being there, I'll be incredibly surprised if they don't cap off of this. Holy shit, okay. Well, the Tracer gets the 2k on the pulse bomb, but you know, that's like not something that you bank on, right? Super winnable with the Tracer's 2k. Yep. Good play, slam, yep, cool. Who are we going to shoot? Not the hog? Cool, grapple is good. I'm totally fine with the fact that you didn't shoot anybody, and instead you're just like, you know, trying to live through the whole hog while keeping the cart contested. I think that's great. Straight on the Hanzo, sweet. Cool. Yeah, cool. Little tech thing that you could have probably employed against the Hanzo there, although it's great that you killed the hog, but is the aim reset melee tech. So like when you're up in essentially melee range, you're mouse wanting them, shooting them. When you notice that your aim starts like failing and you're missing the shots, just do a quick melee and then use that like half a second that you're locked in the melee animation to like readjust your aim. So it's like, tracking the Hanzo, your aim starts drifting over here. You just press the melee button because, if he's in front of you and you melee, then it's guaranteed 30 damage. And while you're doing that, you move your crosshair back to start tracking him again. You would have gotten both kills if you employed that technique there, for sure, 100%. This is looking pretty winnable now anyway. Like that Tracer Pulse absolutely just clutched the defense for you guys. And that was a good loop as well. Cool, sweet. I really like how you played that last engage, other than the not using the melee animation tech. But yeah, main feedback so far has definitely got to stop running it down main. Um, I think we'll only watch like 2 or 3 fights on attack because this has been going on for ages and I need to have dinner. I just always have so much to say about Wrecking Ball. I love Wrecking Ball. So straight up no. If you're going down this way, then that's just like straight up no. Go through here. Um, Depending on where they're set up, sometimes there's actually like an intense amount of, especially, I mean, in higher rank games, teams don't usually commit to holding here, but in lower rank games, they do. Diamond is sort of like in the middle, where like I never really know if they're gonna like hard commit to this or if they're gonna do like the smart thing and fall back and play like back here as as better players do. But my point is sometimes if it looks like a team is going to hard engage there, then like the ultimate value often is just like coming out here, grappling here, speeding to the point, and drawing them back as your team comes through. Because it means that one, your team can a lot more safely get through this choke. They've got a Hanzo, they've got a Sojourn, they've got a Remacha left clicking, they've got an Ana. Like that's a lot of damage for them to get through. And remember, they don't have like a frontline tank to like absorb that damage and stuff for them. And obviously you going in there is like not a good way to absorb the damage, right? So you actually going back here, even if the brig is there, that's fine. You know what? I bet even with the brig there, if you went back here and started dueling the brig, I would like bet $100 that more than 2 players turn around to go back, because as soon as people see the point is capped, like monkey brain kicks in and they're like must save point, must save point. And that just allows your team to get in. And then once you notice that they've drawn back a bit, I mean, it's up to you what you want to do after that. You can go back here. You can, if your team is like playing fast movers, which you kind of do have because you've got a tracer who can get in there pretty quick, then you might be able to actually, like if 2 players come this way, right? But you get the vibe that there's still players over here. You might actually be able to then like grapple here, go for like a swing on whatever's over here and like capitalize on the chaos, right? Because your team is coming in. You've got 4 players that are now around this section and there's potentially 1 or 2 players left over here. You just like try and quickly clean up those players while the other players have like walked backwards to the point. Otherwise, yeah, you can like go around here and then like stage from up here up the staircase. If you're hurt, I guess you can like go and grab like a mega there, or you can like grapple here and like run around and get this mega, because sometimes that mega in there is a lot more dangerous to get, right? If they're on the point, they have good sight lines. But yeah, that's all to say that I really don't want to see you go down main here, but I'm guessing that that is what we're going to see. Yeah. Look at your health. Look at your health. Any value that you get right now is totally negated. So, and the only value that you got was knocking the Hanzo off the high ground, who can just climb back up. So we won't focus on this team fight too much. Gets the mega, cool. Don't contest the Hanzo in there. Because you know that he hasn't used Storm Arrows on you yet, right? Or if he did, then he used it at the very start when you're in the air, so he's got it again. Like, you lose that fight like 100% of the time if he's got Storm Arrows in that closed environment. I like this. I would actually be grappling here, going for like the ground boop to knock him further into your team. I know that sounds like mean, put him further into your team when he's in Nemesis form, right? But by doing that, you're cutting him off like the line of sight from the healers. So like the Ana will have to like go really wide around here to heal the Remacha if the Remacha ends up over here. And realistically, your team and you can probably burn him down, I reckon. I would assume that your BAP has lamp up. I can't imagine that he wouldn't have lamp up. This is great though, that Ramacha heavily overcommits and you help punish him, so that's great. Cool, I like this. I like this engage a lot. The brief kind of messed up your aim, but that's okay. You've got grapple, go again. Because you probably wouldn't have had power drive up in time, I actually would have just done a faster floor grapple. So like just grapple here and literally just like roll through them and then like roll through around to here. That's great because the enemy team is now in a tricky situation. Like you will have taken damage, so you'll probably be like 2/3 health, right? So like they're like, okay, well they're capping the point, but there's a ball that's now like here behind us. So like from the enemy team's point of view, it's like, okay, well we can run in this way to contest the point, but then the ball is going to be behind us, so he's going to engage in us and do lots of damage and stuff. And so their focus becomes split, where it's like one or two players are going to want to look this way and either chase you in here or go this way to try and kill you. And then one or two players are going to be like, okay, but the point though, like we need to contest the point. So basically, you'll just be creating like this chaos situation in their team where like their focus is split, right? So and like that's value. That's like one of the key values of Wrecking Ball. It's not necessarily always being a backline assassin, but it's drawing aggro and pressure away in meaningful ways that empower the rest of your team. And that's all to say that the grapple that you did, you wouldn't have had your power drive up in time for the slam anyway, and you wouldn't have gotten like the height and value. And also the Ana was so low, so if you just like did a low grapple and like managed to like roll through and hit 50 damage on everyone, then I think that's still like good value. And as I said, then you create that like off angle back here that they have to worry about. I would still 100% love to see you going around here right now and actually playing from this position here, because you can see if they start walking in and then you can make a judgment. Do you want to go back this way, like grapple like up here and then slam the choke if they're coming in? Do you want to like keep rolling around and then let them get a little bit closer so that they're like here and then you like grapple this corner, swing around, slam, that sort of thing? But I think just like chilling on the point is like not good value. Even just like going up here, to be honest, and using like the barrels for cover, standing back here using third person. That way you get a free power drive if they come into contest because you can just jump off and hit them, right? But just like standing on the point is kind of like, I would just call this like being AFK more or less. You know, like you're not setting up, you're not staging, you're not scouting, you're just chilling out. You know, you're just having a good time. Cool. I think that was fine because your team was like pushing up with you, like they followed your engage, which was good. You got a kill out of it. Um, I would love to see you because like these kills here are cool, but they're not like it's gonna buy you the choke for free, which is good. But you killed the brig, so you already get the choke for free, right? One of your team needs to go back and push the cart. What I would be doing as ball is I would actually be like just doing like a quick grapple for some speed over here, get up on the high ground, and then start staging for the next attack because like the fight that really matters is when the cart gets to like here, right? That's like the first real team fight, assuming that they don't hold you in the choke, which, as I said, they won't be able to do because they've lost the brig now. But like for you to just engage this right now and like grapple and slam on top of them now, I don't think that that's good value. Cool, we go high ground. That's good. I like this using the cover there, natural cover. Cool. We're gonna slam hopefully from the back because we can clearly see that they're all falling back. Cool. It's fine, you know. We don't really get like great slam damage on the Ana, but obviously you can't see through walls like I can in the replay. Um, cool, that's a kill, that's a kill. Yep, sweet. We don't need to go back to the cart. There's nothing happening at the cart, so we get the kill in the Hanzo. We don't even need heals, we're fine. We roll around this way, and we start scouting from here. I'm planning our next engage. We might roll up and do a jump from high ground, a power drive jump from high ground, or we might like roll around and like grapple this and slam again. But like this is just downtime right now, going to the cart for no reason, looking at the cart for no reason. Don't think you win this. No. You take a ton of damage for it. No, 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 no. Yeah, I probably don't need to analyze that too much. Like you're going against a Torbjorn that you haven't seen use his what do you call it? Overdrive, overpower. You know what I mean? Recently, and there's a turret right there, and the whole team's right there. Like that's just suicide. Your death though, big impact on your team, right? Without you there, the enemy feels really empowered to just go hard and wipe your team. And so, like I said, the fight that really matters happens like about here, when the cart gets about here, and so the fight that really mattered was lost. And it's not like 100% your fault. It's not like the rest of your team played perfectly or whatever, because somebody else was diving on that Torbjorn Tracer was as well, and that's pretty suicidal as well. Um, but like it's got a big like your poor engagement had a big like impact on that. Again, just want to highlight that like your ult charge is like really far behind like the average within the game. Like you should be getting ult before like the Sojourn. um like the Torbjorn has only just swapped, right, and he's got almost the same ult charge as you. Again, like improving your, that was a good slam, but you take a lot of damage. Improving your uptime by like, again, off angling, setting up, scouting properly will ultimately improve your damage. It might feel like, oh, but if I do all that stuff, I won't be engaging as quickly. You won't get as many engages, but you should get higher value engages. um, yeah, I'd be surprised if you live that. um, Again, I'm pretty sure that we ran it down main then. I wasn't actually watching you, but I'm guessing that's exactly what happened. Yep. I mean, it's a great slam, don't get me wrong, but there's no follow up. Like if you're wondering, oh, I can't secure kills on the back line, it's because you've once again more or less engaged like 1v5. Like your team was not in a position to help you. Like look at this. Like when you went in, your Bap had only just died, right? And your Anna was walking back from spawn. It's like again like an overconfidence thing. Like, oh, I can get value basically going in by myself. I mean, you can't. Like you won't. Health back won't be there. We'll watch one more actual team fight once everybody's healed up, and then we'll call it. Because we've got 5 ults, this shouldn't be losable. Yeah. Like running it down main against a Brig, so obvious. Like she's going to be holding a whip shot for you, right? Like you're going to get all your engages messed up. You have to engage from high ground like Tracer is doing. When we do it again, it's like, yeah. No kills because they have plenty of time to react to your mines because you're running it down main, but your mines do kind of zone them a little bit from the cart. Actually, no, I'm going to say that it's not a valuable minefield because as much as your mine zoned them from the cart, it also like zoned them from the window, and the window probably zones them more anyway. Like you just have to come from the off angle, from the high ground, right? Like your team's used 3 ults in this fight so far, and the cart will get moving, but that's going to come back to bite you guys in the next fight. Really strongly believe that if you just came from up here and slammed and mines from up here, then your team wouldn't need to invest so hard to get value. Again, we're running it down main, we're getting booped by the Brig more often than not. Stay up here, stay up here. Yeah, this is good. But then leave, because you can't get this kill, right? Because like there's a turret there, so your Tracer isn't going to be empowered to come in, and your team is like not in a position to help you yet. And you need to be aware of where your team is as well. Like, I can say that you're not going to get the kill before I even go into this like, free cam zoom, because like relative to where your team was a few seconds ago, like it's very unlikely that they have a line of sight to where you are, right? So you go in, you get a good slam, you can mouse one for a second, but then you need to leave and not like heavily commit to this, because if you take heaps of damage right now, then like this next team fight is guaranteed to be over. It probably is anyway because they have 5 ults because you guys are over invested, but yeah. We'll just watch until the end of this team fight and we'll call it. Gotta confirm that. Bummer. Yeah, that sucks, but you know what? It's just like the same theme throughout the whole game. It's like running it down main, and getting punished, and taking too much damage, getting booped, getting hooked, getting slept, all that sort of thing. Got to come from off angles. Got to scout, set up, strike, plan our engages a lot better. Also got to think about, I think, spend a bit more time on like grapple maneuvers and that sort of thing. We saw a lot of grapples that just like fell short, and a lot of those were actually, in fairness, due to not scouting and setting up properly, doing like a blind grapple where like the enemy's there, you just don't know like exactly where they are. You're just like slamming the general vicinity of some enemies, right? The other one, I guess, is like if you're if you're wanting follow up from your teammates, then you need to make sure that they're actually in a position to help you. Like this fight here was probably one of the single best examples because like yes you've got a tracer, but like what do you expect the tracer to do when there's like a Torb turret there? Like they can't just run in and like help you pick off those supports, right? Like you need to wait until the rest of your team is in position. Let the cart push up just a little bit more, and then go for your engage. Like going for the slam there is good, but then you need to leave. Um, Otherwise, yeah, so didn't really see you employ any tech at all, which is fine. You don't have to be like a tech whiz to climb on ball. But I think doing like the melee adjustment when you're shooting someone up close is really important. It's really good against like if you were committing to this slam here, then like that would be a great example of where you like mouse one until your aim starts missing, and then you melee and then you mouse one again. Didn't see you do any wall jumps, but to be honest, this map doesn't require a ton of wall jumps because there's so much easily accessible high ground. Um, didn't see you do any ledge jumps that I can remember, as in like jump off and then power drive back on the ledge like this. But again, like you never really fought over the high ground, and they never really fought over the high ground. Like both teams just played low ground all game, so it's sort of surprising to me that this is like a diamond lobby, or maybe you're like a diamond player playing in like a gold lobby. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, it was strange. You don't need that tech, but the advice I give like pretty much every ball player is like the three techs that you need to at least be able to do like ledge slam where you jump off and then slam back on here, a basic wall jump where you like come out this wall, jump, cancel your inputs for a second, press S, slam, and then get like a free jump off of that, and then like the melee animation cancel, like double boops and all that sort of thing, or like doing like the washing machine. A lot of people call it where like oh shit, where you like grapple here and then you just like roll side to side and just like destroy anything that's in there is good as well, right? But like those aren't essential, and I can't do those ones consistently anyway. I can't even do double boops consistently, but like those three ones are like critical techs that you need to know if you don't already. If you don't know how to do them, Google it, watch some guides, do some like workshop codes, that sort of thing. But yeah, 100% need to like stop running it down main. um, I've waffled a lot, so if you're still here, that's great. Hopefully this helps. Good luck.